Hello and welcome to day 27 of our 90 days data analytics series. Today we are going straight into the second software tool that we are learning for this class, which is SQL. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you what SQL is and why do we need to learn SQL. I'll also show you how to install SQL on your PC. Let's get straight into the video. Before I explain what SQL is, let's start from the rudiments so we have an adequate knowledge of what we are getting into. I'll start by explaining what databases are. A database is an organized collection of data that is stored electronically and can be easily accessed, managed, and updated. You can think of a database like a cabinet, like you have a cabinet that helps you store information. For example, let's say you have patient records, you have sales transaction, you have employee details. This digital cabinet or database help you store this data in a structured way so that users can find them and use the data efficiently. We have different types of databases, but the most common one is relational database, where data is stored in tables, just like we had Excel worksheets with rows and column. Another name for rows is records, and another name for column is fields. Just hold that with your right hand, okay? Let's talk about example of popular database system. The first one we'll talk about is Microsoft SQL Server, which is the one we are making use of in this tutorial. Other ones include MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, and SQLite. But you don't have to know everything, right? Because they are still performing almost the same functionality. It's just the way we have Excel and we have Google Sheets. You can still do the same thing you do in Excel using Google Sheets, right? You just have to pick a preference or the one you want to work with. And in my case, I work with Microsoft SQL Server. I know you are already wondering, how is SQL, how is it related to databases that you are talking about? Now, SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is that language that we use to interact with our relational database. With SQL, you can create databases and tables, you can insert data into tables, you can query data. You can also update, delete, join data from multiple tables. You can manage users' permission. Okay, by query data, let's take for example, we have data containing patient records and we want to find all the patients that are older than 60. We can write a query to generate that. And talking about SQL helping us manage user permission is just like when you start working with a company, they can give you access to their database for you to work in. And if you're no longer working with them, they can remove your access from the database. This is an example of a query that allows us get the name, age of patients that are above 60 years old. Don't worry if you don't understand it yet. We are still going straight into the practical aspects of this. But we already know Excel. Why do we need to learn SQL again? You have to understand that most company data live in this database, not in Excel. One of the roles I'm currently working in, I use SQL daily to query data from the company's database to meet their client's need. It is also one of the top skills that recruiters look for in data analysts. Let's wrap up the explanation so far with this analogy. A database is the library. In a library, we have bookshelf, okay? And inside the bookshelf, you can find a book, all right? So now we have a database. In the database, you can find a table. Inside that table, you will find record or rows, okay? And SQL is like the librarian who knows how to find, organize, and manage all the books that we have in that library. You can pause the video to digest the analogy I just gave you. It will help you in future remembrance of these concepts we just explained. I know you like to use Excel already, but imagine that you need data from a company's database with like 2 million rows. So you don't have a choice. You have to make SQL your best friend as well. Now let me show you how to install Microsoft SQL Server on your PC. To install SQL, you first want to go to your browser, any browser whatsoever, and search Microsoft SQL Server 2022. All right. When click this option and it's going to take you to the website. Click on Try SQL Server 2022 and we are going to download the Express version, which is free. So you click download now, and once it's done downloading, you want to open the file and then install the file. Okay. So once the file is done installing, you click basic, all right, and then you accept the terms and then you can install. Once the installation is completed, you want to click this connect now, and then you're going to see one row affected. Then you can close the tab and you install SSMS. Okay. So you're going to click on this option right here, this version right here, just download it. And once it's downloading, you're also going to open the file and also install it. Okay. So once search SQL Server and pick that option, it's going to open up to us in a minute. This is what Microsoft SQL Server looks like. We also call it MsSQL. So you can go ahead to connect it. If you get this error, all you have to do is check the box for Trust Server Certificate and connect. Now you can create database, you can create tables and start working in the database. To create database, right click on this database and click new database. It's going to open up this tab to you, and then you can type whatever database name. So let's use my first DB. That means my first database, because this is our first database, right? And then we just go on to click OK. So now you can expand that section and you can see the database we just created right there. So new query is that editor where we are going to type in all the queries that we'll be writing. We are stopping here for today, and tomorrow we are going to see how we can create tables, put data in our table, how we can import data into SQL, and lots more. I can't wait to see you tomorrow, and bye for now.